Welcome back to the Quote Goats podcast. I'm your host, Tommy Guns. Before we get into the video, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so that you never miss a clip or full episode of the show. Now let's get into it. First off, who is the Dalai Lama?
Let's go.
Llama, red pajama, Reese's story, Reese's mama.
My bad, that was the wrong video. Okay, here we go.
He's one of the most well-known spiritual leaders of the 20th and 21st centuries. The present Dalai Lama is the 14th in a long line stretching back to the 1300s. The word Dalai means an ocean, implying an ocean of wisdom. Lama means teacher. Tibetans believe the Dalai Lamas are reincarnations of Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara. When the current Dalai Lama approaches old age, the search starts for the next reincarnation.
Okay, so the Dalai Lama pretty much is a well-respected spiritual leader who is also a celibate monk, who is also reincarnated before he dies. How does that work? But anyway, let's get to what happened. So back in February, the Dalai Lama held a charity event for all his fans where they could come and meet him and interact with him. And at the event, this is what happened. No. What are they laughing at? What? First off, what the hell are they laughing at? Like, it kind of seemed like this type of thing that go on in these Tibetan temples all the time. Cause they were just a little bit too nonchalant about this grown man trying to get this little boy to suck his tongue. Is it just me or did anybody else get creepy Joe Biden vibes?
There's nothing pervy here. The VP knows he's on camera at these swearing-in ceremonies, and the parents are right there as he leans in for a kiss.
Yeah, so that was probably the most awkwardly disgusting video I've seen in a minute. I mean, just the way he was like staring him down in between like sexual advances, in between the kisses and the, you know, the propositions to suck his tongue. The whole thing was just weird, creepy, and awkward, and like, I don't know, like what world are we living in, people? Interestingly enough, this happened back in February, but for some reason the video is just now resurfacing and going viral. I'm gonna let y'all speculate on why it went down like that. Maybe somebody was trying to cover this up.
Curiouser and curiouser grows our tale.
But anyway, let's read some comments. Somebody said, I'm going to write this off as a weird cultural thing. I've traveled to lots of countries and I've seen even weirder things than this involving kids. In the USA, adults may tickle underarms or feet for a giggle. One country I witnessed adults in a living room full of people jiggling kids' privates for giggles. Plus, the Dalai Lama probably lives a life of highly scripted, choreographed meetings. He's very old and is also known for his quirky sense of humor. But if kids start coming forward with stories being molested, then you got a problem. You think? Somebody else said, this is true. We are very conservative here in the United States in the way we interact with each other physically. Even so, this was a weird interaction, and I'm sure the guy wishes he could take it back. I'm sure he does too, but when you know cameras on you and you got thousands of people there clamoring to see you, like, this is a little bit more than a brain fart. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew what he was doing. And it's really pedophilic activity. And another person said, Dalai Biden? That's my favorite one. Now, I don't know too much about Tibetan culture, but in my personal opinion, this behavior should be inexcusable in any culture. But there are some people at CNN who are trying to do just that.
Let's hear what the CNN panelists had to say.
Jay, you've met the Dalai Lama many times. Have you sucked his tongue?
I have not. The Dalai Lama is a very playful human being, and we may see this in a weird, kind of gross, sexualized way, but this is about as sexual as a bowl of plain rice. There is nothing sexual, erotic, or
as sexual as a bowl of plain rice. I don't know what kind of rice you eating, my boy, but rice ain't never stuck out his tongue and asked me to suck it. Anyway, let's keep going.
Erotic happening in this encounter, as you can see by the reaction of the people who were there. Tibetan culture just has different boundaries around. We see the tongue as it's what we kiss with. It's sexualized. It's this, and of course that this is offensive to us, as it should be. It's not seen that way in Tibetan culture. This is a part of the body. It's something playful.
What the hell going on in Tibet if they don't frown upon this type of activity? This what they do for fun in Tibet? Now, the argument that kissing doesn't necessarily always have to be looked at in a sexual way to somehow excuse the behavior that we see in this video, in my opinion, is beside the point and irrelevant. Because not only did he ask for and kiss this child, he asked him to suck his tongue. Now, I don't know what fucked up world you living in, but if that's truly what you believe and you have kids, then you need to let it be known so we can send CPS to your address as soon as possible, because you ain't living right. Okay, back to the Dalai Lama, who has now issued an apology in the form of a Notes app post on Twitter that goes as follows. A video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness the Dalai Lama, speaking in third person, if he could come give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before the cameras. He regrets the incident. So in case you didn't notice, the apology only referenced the hug, not the kiss, not the weirdo stare before the kiss, and not the sucking of the tongue request. I get weirded out every time I say sucking of the tongue. I get the ick. But thankfully, the Twitter fact checkers let us know what was up. Readers added context they thought people might need to know. The Dalai Lama is facing backlash for kissing the child on the lips and then asking the same child to suck his tongue. Did you find this helpful? Well, why, yes. Yes, Twitter. That was very helpful and insightful information. Thank you. How do they do that fast? Like, I thought Elon fired like half of Twitter. But anyway, some people pointed out that this is nothing new when it comes to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Apparently, he has ties to sex trafficking cult NXIVM. This sex cult was ran by a guy named Keith Raniere under the guise of a self-help marketing scheme, or at least that's how it looked on the surface. And then it turned out they were trafficking women for the founder Keith to sleep with. Sidebar though, why is every cult ultimately about the founder fucking everybody?
All right, you got a point. You're right.
We live in a strange world, people. Keith is now in prison for 130 years. But in 2009, the Dalai Lama spoke at an event with over 3,000 NXIVM members in attendance, which was organized by NXIVM, and the Dalai Lama brought highly ranking NXIVM members on stage to bless them. He put like little towels over them, and you know, however a monk blesses somebody, the NXIVM members got that blessing. He even wrote the foreword to one of Keith Raniere's books, aka the founder of the sex cult. Correlation? You decide. He also said a few questionable things in interviews over the years, starting with this one, which was over 9 years ago on CBS.
And you are celibate, right?
Oh, yes.
What do you do for fun?
Fun. Use our intelligence and think many things. But that also some kind of fun.
You've also said one of your weaknesses is beautiful women.
Of course, seeing beautiful women. Yes. Oh, so beautiful. But then, as a monk, thinking, the children, many my friend, American friend.
She was like, what the fuck you talking about the children? I asked you for fun. You went from women to the kids? Yeah, that didn't age very well. And this quote, questioning another former leader's moral compass.
His emotion also a little bit too complicated.
What do you mean by that? What do you think of him in office?
One day he says something, another day he says something, but I think lack of moral principle. or when he became president, he expressed America first. That is wrong.
Now, we all know Trump has his issues, love him or hate him, but to say the pot is calling the kettle black might be a bit of an understatement in your case, Your Holiness, sir. But what do you think? Should we let him off the hook for some cultural technicality, or should he be dragged all over the internets for his pedophilic, disgusting behavior? Let me know in the comments. See you next time. Thanks for watching this clip of the Quote Goats podcast. I truly hope you enjoyed yourself and maybe even learned something new. If you haven't already, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a clip, short, or a full episode of the show. See you guys next time. Peace.